Jangan di-unmute kamu kan. Belum? Ya udah, play. Ya, play dulu Kak ya. Jangan di-unmute, kamu nggak unmute kan? Kamu nggak unmute komputermu kan? Oke. Okay, everybody, can you hear me? Kedengeran nggak kan? Iya, aku tahu sih. Okay. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Abdul Rahman, Dean of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, University of Widyagama Mahakam Samarinda. The Honorable Mr. Toshko Ivo Ivanov, our speaker for today. The Honorable all of the participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Thank you everyone for attending this online seminar. And first, let me introduce myself. My name is Widi Shahtia Pane, and I am the moderator for today's online seminar. And for your information, this seminar is the first one that we held from our national online seminar series. It's about the facing challenge to boost knowledge in new normal. Okay, before we start, all of the things that we have in our seminar, I would like to read our agenda for today. So the first one is opening by the host. And second one is opening speech by the Dean of the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, University of Widyagama Mahakam Samarinda. And then after that, we will continue to our main agenda, which is the delivering material by Mr. Toshko Ivo Ivanov. And then after that, the last we have our sharing section. So in this section, you can just ask anything. You can ask some question to our speaker through the chat bar and also through the YouTube live comment. Okay, and so listen carefully and also prepare your question for our speaker. Okay, so for those ones, okay, so that was our agenda for today. So it's time for Mr. Abdul Rahman, our Dean of Faculty, to give his opening speech to us. So Mr. Abdul Rahman, the time is yours. Mr. Abdul Rahman, can you hear me?
Oke.
Okay.
Oke, ya. Thank you Bu Widi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ivanov, our speaker at this seminar. Good afternoon, Ibu Widi, as the head of English Department
Good
of
afternoon,
Faculty of
sir.
Teacher Training of Widyagama University.
Hello.
Good afternoon, all
Good
the
afternoon.
lecturers and staff. Yeah. Halo, Pak Ivanov.
Yes.
Good afternoon, all the
Good.
lecturers and staff of English Department, all the participants and our audience at this seminar. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to our seminar today. As a dean, I hope that this seminar will contribute some beneficial to all participants and lecturers in facing new normal life. Thank you, and we'll enjoy our seminar today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for Dr. Abdul Rahman for your opening speech. Okay, so we move to our agenda, our main agenda, which is from Mr. Toshko Ivanov. Hello, Mr. Ivanov.
Hello, Miss Widi. Pane.
Yeah, pozdrav.
Pozdrav.
Yeah, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. I hope you're great as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So before you deliver your material, so let me read Mr. Ivanov curriculum vitae a little bit. Okay, so Mr. Toshko Ivanov is an IT independent contractor for Facebook Inc. and also the book author. For his education, he studied on accounting for a bachelor degree at the Stanov Academy of Economics in Svestov, Bulgaria. And then he also took the economic education and pedagogy for a 2-year program on the Stanov Academy of Economics, Svestov, Bulgaria. And he also joining the KSG Executive Education 6-month program of Harvard University, USA. After that, he admitted on TESOL master degree on University of Sunderland in United Kingdom. And the last, he took his master degree on English pedagogy in Veliko Trnovo University, Bulgaria. Okay, about his work experience, he was an IT technician on Anovo, Norwich, United Kingdom, and then he got some internship from Express Bank, and also DSK Bank on Bulgaria, and also has experience in accounting job in Svestov municipalities, Svestov, Bulgaria. And yeah, that's all for his curriculum vitae. Now it's Mr. Ivanov's turn to deliver his material. So Mr. Ivanov, are you ready about everything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm born ready. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's
so
do
Mr.
this.
Ivanov. Okay, so Mr. Ivanov, time is yours.
Thank you. I'd like to first say thanks to Dr. Abdul Rahman and of course you, Miss Widi Pane, for having me start your great series, your great online series. And let me quickly move to the material that I'm gonna deliver. And as many of you know already, I'm working for a social media company, and I have worked for a few of them, in fact, for Facebook and for Instagram. And as a person who makes his money from this field, I'd like to express my options on social media. And is it good for us or is it not? Because I've been following social media since its creation, which is, I don't know, maybe more than 10 years ago. So I think I'm gonna be a little bit controversial, but I hope that in the end you understand why. And yeah, let's start with the subject, which is behavior towards social media paradox and trap. And you may see that I'm not using the typical slides on my desktop, but I've printed them. And I have done this because I feel that we may still do our material without so much technology and make it a little bit more interesting for you. Because nowadays everybody just uses computers and social media. And yeah, so I'd like to start first with why was Facebook created on the first place. And Facebook, as you may know or not know, was created by Mark Zuckerberg, fellow colleague from Harvard, which the intention of the social media was to just connect students from this university and from the other top university in US. And yeah, it was like a yearly book that you can see colleagues and nothing more. I think even in the beginning that they didn't have a message option. There were just some bunch of people over there that you could just see and see their emails and eventually write them an email. And then from then on, it expanded to have a messaging service, which is now a messenger. And from then on, it expanded to have walls. You know, every person had wall, and they hosted video service as well. You can now call and make video and conferences as this one on Zoom. So yeah, this has developed a lot during the years, but that wasn't the intention of Facebook. So you know, what has Facebook become now? In my option, well, it wasn't planned. It wasn't planned to become like this, but now it's just when you log into Facebook, for example, you see a wall which is infinite. They have implemented this function of having infinite wall, so you always scroll down, and it just never stops. And then other websites have implemented this as well. I've even seen some government websites use this function, which is very disturbing. But anyways, yeah, it has become just attention grabber with so much information feeding you so much info that you're not exactly sure, you know, why is it there. You're not searching for this information, and many people, as you may know, have started to use social media, you know, for bragging, you know, for showing off, for writing fake news as of now. And you know, it has just become a big mess of so much information, and it wasn't originally planned for. And I have another thing. Why was Google created? Which is not a social media, but it's closely related. And Google was also a small company that originally was planned to just collect some links from websites. And when you go in, you, for example, search for bananas or for a laptop, and there are a bunch of sites that are showing that they sell that. It wasn't planned for you to, you know, go and ask it questions like what is the weather in Svistol, Bulgaria right now, like who is Toshko Ivanov, your host, you know, and what is the president of you know, if United States. If you don't know it, you could ask it, and you know, you could just feed it enormous amount of questions. And you know, what has Google become right now? Well, when you have a question, maybe when you have 10 questions a day, you go and ask Google. You just open your phone and type it and ask them, and this will make your brain more curious, and it will make you ask more questions that have no real value, no real meaning, because back in the times when Google wasn't created, if you had 10 questions for the day, for the 24 period in your day, you would only remember maybe one or two, which you think that are the most important, and you will search for books or ask your friends or family. And when you get these answers to these maybe 2 or 3 questions, you're gonna remember them more strongly. It's gonna create a stronger link in your brain because you have done so much work to find those questions. And all of the other questions, for example, the other 7 or 9, you will forget at the end of the day because, well, they were not as important. So when you go to sleep at night, your brain is just gonna rewire, and this is a mechanism. So when you wake up the next day, you just remember the most important things that actually are relevant and matter to you. But now, I mean, anybody can just take his phone and ask 1,000 questions a day, and you forget them the next day, or maybe the next couple of days. Yeah, somebody's asking why I cannot see me on the screen, but yeah, just help him. So yeah, this is very bad when using Google and social media, because it feeds your brain so much information that is not relevant and that you're not searching for it, and you just block yourself, you block your mind. And there are some really really good statistics showing that that kids now, I mean children, and some parents even show their babies you know, like YouTube videos or something, just tablets and stuff. This is slowing down the development of the children because it feeds them so much information, even visual information, if it's not a sentence or anything else. So yeah, this is very bad. And yeah, I'd like to talk about the consequences of overusing social media and Google, and I'll compare it. I'll compare us to a less developed species on Earth. So yeah, what what has become now that in year 2000, you can see here, the average attention span of a human was 12 seconds. And in 2013, it has become 8 seconds. And the attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. So basically, in year 2013, our attention span has become lesser than a goldfish. And they even stopped updating this information after year 2013 because we already became like the worst species on Earth, you know, based on our attention span. And attention span is really important because it is the ability for to focus on something, and you cannot learn anything. You can nothing can stay on your brain if you cannot focus on this. So basically, yeah, we're like goldfishes right now because of overusing computers and social media and Google and everything. And for comparison, you know, for lesser species, a squirrel can dig up to 4,000 nuts placed in separate surroundings. That means every squirrel can remember 4,000 different places of her nuts, and you know, just recall these places in her mind, and then go and grab it. And I don't think we can do that as people, because you know, many of us even forget our keys to the car or to the apartment, not to mention 4,000 different items. If we have, there's no possibility of us remembering it all. Yeah, more I'll feed you more statistics about what have we become. And this is the average user picks up their phone more than 1,500 times a day. This is a day. Also, the average length of watched videos on internet is 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And also, now users will read only 28% of the text they are provided. So we read only 1/3 of, of what we see on internet or on book, whatever. So, this speaks very bad things for us. We just lost our ability to focus, and that wasn't the case before social media. And I have provided Miss Woody Pane with links, and you can read like thousands of pages of researches, as I have done. Like, there are many studies, many researchers, like with 1,000 pages, 3,000 pages. There are so many, so you can read about it. But yeah, I'm just gonna sum up the most important things. And yeah, I'll give you another example. That a dolphin can remember a single sound for over 20 years. So this is a very smart fish with very good brain. And I don't think any of us can remember a sound for 20 years. Yeah, now because we don't have to. We have everything for our convenience. We can ask. We have Shazam, this app that you just play a sound in it, feed a sound or a music video, and it tells you what song was that. So we have become so reliant on technology that we cannot even remember a song. We like some song and we forgot its name, so we need an app on the phone to ask it. So we are worse than a dolphin, definitely. And yeah, there are some other statistics noting that they ask people from 18 years old to 24, and they say that when they have nothing to do, they open their phone. They start using their phone. That was 77% of the people. When they have nothing to do, they just open their phone. And I'm sure you're the same, and I've been the same, and to some extent I still am, but I'm trying to not do it. But what does it tell? What do that tells you? Like if you have nothing to do, you're most probably opening your phone. And when you open your phone, your mind is declining, your attention span is declining, you're not learning something, you're not developing your brain, and you're doing the opposite. So we are in a loop. If we are not already altering our brain ability, then, well, we feel bored and we open the phone to just decline it even further. So it's a very bad loop that we are in. So there's no escaping from that if we don't do it intentionally. And another thing, there's a bird called Nucifraga columbiana, which remembers GPS coordinates of different locations in her life. So this bird can fly to 20,000 different locations, like 20,000 different cities, and it can remember it all. It's just a bird. So yeah, I remember when I worked and studied in London, in United Kingdom, the first maybe 5 times that I had to come back to my accommodation, to my house, I forgot the exact street, because they all look the same, and there were many people going through the same unfortunate luck. But yeah, we cannot even remember our home anymore, and this bird can remember up to 20,000 different places of her home. But not only this, not only our memory is declining and our ability to remember and to be aware of our surroundings. These are some very, very disturbing statistics that 1 of 3 adults keep their their social media password secret from their partners. So these are married couples, and also 1 in 10 adults admit to hide messages from their accounts, and as a result, 1 in 3 divorces start as online affairs. And you know, it's just social media is contributing to divorce rate, to separating couples, and yeah, just see that as well. 25% of couples fight about Facebook at least once a week. So they fight about Facebook for whatever reason, and these are couples. And you know, we should ask ourselves, like, if, for example, squirrels became more intelligent than us, because we're still an intelligent species on Earth, but if they become more intelligent and they developed their own phones and their own cars, and you saw a squirrel, you know, swiping her little phone and sending pictures of her nuts, of her dinner, or of her new car, and having an affair with another squirrel, and you know, just sitting there and doing that. If you imagine this, what would you think about that squirrel? I mean, you definitely say they are not good. You know, they're crazy. Like, this is not good behavior. But if we just see ourselves from a distance, we do not look good as a species. We are not going in the right direction. That is my option. And if social media is not contributing, you know, us, and it doesn't help us to create a family, but does the opposite, like separates people, separates families, because it provides them with a better option of affair, or finding an affair, or you know, finding a better person. Because you know, be honest, they're always gonna be a better person than, you know, our spouse or our man, you know, like there was gonna be one better, but you know, that's not the point. The point is that, you know, we have to be we have to feel well with what we have right now, and not look always, you know, for other things and for better things, because it's just a loop that never ends. So we will not be happy, you know, never. We will never be happy. So, you know, I like to make a conclusion. I already made a conclusion that social media and YouTube and overusing all of this, not that it's bad. Generally, it's a good technology, but we are overusing it like a drug, like alcohol, like, you know, real proper drugs, or like cigarettes. We're overusing this for bad things. And the conclusion is that not everything that people create and invent in our life is good, and they can create bad things, and we can go into these bad things without realizing, because that's what Facebook has become. Just a yearly book with a messaging service. Now it has become a place that you can go and you can spend your whole day there, and you gain nothing from this. You just, you know what your 3,000 friends are doing every 10 seconds or every 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Why is it this so important for your life goals, or for your, you know, for not, it's not important for anything. But it provides us with very big entertainment, with fake entertainment, may I say. And this has happened over time without us realizing it, because, you know, since they became a big company, you know, Facebook and all the others, like advertisements came, you know, they become public companies, like investors joined, so they want profit. So Facebook has to sell advertisement, and the advertisement companies want more user engagement, and they make Facebook and other social media companies hire psychologists. So they develop, you know, a special way of interaction inside the website, inside the app, that makes you stay more. For example, Facebook is blue because the point is to make you feel very calm and like watching the sea, because the most common thing probably that people know is the sea. When you watch the blue sea, you feel very good, and this is what is Facebook. But it doesn't provide you with calmness. It provides you with regrets of when you see your friends that they're having fun, they're eating some kind of dinner or whatever. I mean, you're just staying at home sometimes and wondering about it. So it's not good. This is not good, but it's what has become over time because of profits. So probably in the future they'll implement some more features that will draw us even more in it. So this is not good. We have to be aware of this. And my advice to you, again, as a person who makes money working for social media, not that I would rather do this if I had another opportunity. I mean, social media exists, but I would rather if it doesn't exist. Honestly, I can say that with a hand on my heart. But my advice to you is the following: trust religion, because religion is good and it makes you stay on the right path. And I believe in this. Use less social media and live a simpler life, and that, in my option, will make you more happy. And this is everything. We should not trust the technology so much as we've been told to, and we should use our own brain to do the tasks. And like me, just maybe use more paper or improvise with teaching or from learning. And the reason that I have not done a sophisticated PowerPoint slide for you to show from my desktop is because I can feed you, as I said, with 1,000 pages of statistics, but I'll make you bored. I'll make your brain overstimulated, and you just quit in the middle of my with my speech. And now I can see that everybody is still here, which is great. I love it. So my intention was to use just a little bit of slides printed, and if you still have interested in that topic, I'm pretty sure you'll go on your own and research it, and that way you will remember it more, because it will stay and it will make a bigger connection in your brain, because you will do the work by yourself and not somebody else will do the work for you, which is what technology is right now. It just does the work for you, and you're not thinking, you're not using your brain correctly. So yeah, I mean, and this is actually the way of teaching in many top universities in the world, including Harvard. They do not provide with enormous info. They just point the students to the right paths, and of course the students are very bright and they go on their own and research everything. But the teachers do not overstimulate the students, because they know that when they feed so much information in your brain, it just doesn't stick, because your brain has the ability to self heal or self protect, to not overstimulate itself so much. So it just forgets 90% of the things that are not so relevant for you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You'll probably research it anyway. So yeah, for now, I think this is all I wanted to say, I wanted to show. So if you have any questions, I'll be very interested in answering them, and we can discuss it. So yeah, I'll just wait maybe in the chat, or Miss Woody will just give me some questions.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Ivanov. Yeah, that's such a great presentation for you, and it's kind of like something that we don't even expect, because you're the man from who work for Facebook, right?
Yeah, but keep it silent, because they'll fire me and it's all over.
No,
Yeah.
you're not. you're not making the Facebook bad. You just make the environment of our people just be
Yeah,
better.
I'm just saying, do not overuse it, and just do
Yeah,
not
true.
spend so
Yeah,
much
true
time.
though. Yeah, it's like, it seems like everybody is agreeing with you from why I read from our live on YouTube, and also from the chat from here. They agreeing with you, and yeah, that's good. And one more thing that is I am just surprised about. Yeah, so this is why when I ask you about when we are doing rehearsal, I want you to share your PowerPoint presentation, and you say that no, it's secret. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's actually not secret, because you don't even have any PowerPoint
Yeah, I do
presentation,
not have any PowerPoint. Oh, excuse me, I want to add something because
yeah, what is that?
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I do not have PowerPoint presentation, so I do this from my memory, and it's normal to forget something. But this is a good process. So what I should have told you is that I for a fact know that the top CEOs of the Silicon Valley companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Shazam, Instagram, I mean everybody, their kids who learn in Silicon Valley, which is the place for technology. Their kids are studying at private schools, and they pay these private schools like I think $100,000 a year. So these are like enormously expensive schools, and in these schools it's forbidden to use technology. They are only allowed to use chalk, on the whiteboard, and just write with pen and paper, and that's it. No printers, no phones, no tablets, no computers, no anything. And why do they do this? Because they have researched that the old way of teaching and the old way of studying without technology actually develops your brain when you're a child, and probably when you're adult. So these people are paying for their kids to, learn the old way, So, that should speak something to you. And also, another very disturbing statistics is that the autism, I believe you know what autism is very bad disease in kids mostly. The autism is on rise, and they have predicted that in 10 years or 20 years, like the maybe 20 or 30% of the kids will have autism. And this has happened because many parents just show their kids videos from YouTube, cartoons made for children, and these cartoons and these videos have a very higher frame rate. So the undeveloped brain of a child cannot process this color. We're not even speaking about studying. We are speaking about some frames, some flickering, pictures, and they cannot process this. So their brain just shuts off and stops developing as much. And if you watch some children's cartoons which are made like 50 years ago when there was no technology, which was drawn cartoon or something like it, you see that the frame rates are much lesser, and the whole cartoon, the whole topic, it's just so slow. It's very calming. You can understand everything what's happening. And if you watch a kid's cartoon from now, you just see that everything is happening so fast, and there are so many colors, thousands of them. And yet this is bad. So basically, yeah, this is bad. And if just keep aware of it, also watching 4K resolution and 8K or whatever, I'm not sure this is good about the brain as well, because the brain can also just process up to so much colors. I mean, like few thousand colors, I think few 100,000. You can research that as well. You can see the exact number, but everything above this just makes our brain feel feel more dizzy, and that's why when we watch a lot of movies with high resolution, and if we watch cinema for the whole day, and like our head is, oh, you know, it just I'm so tired. Yeah, just it's just our brain is so tired. So we have developed technology that can exhaust our brain, and yeah, we should be very, very aware of this. And yeah, that's all I want to say. And now let's give it time for the questions.
Okay, so very good additional information, Mr. Ivanov, right? So that's how you say that it's a paradox, right?
Yeah, the paradox is, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not doing as good, but it's doing as bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe we can move to our sharing section. Yeah, so we have some question here. So the first question is from George. Yeah, George asked to Mr. Ivanov about, yeah, it's something like your job, yeah, talking about you because it's kind of related to you. He asked about, what if we use social media as our job or to earn money? Like, we know at this era, there are a lot of online shop or something like that use social media.
Yeah, I understand.
What do you think
yeah.
about that?
Thank you, George. Well, this is what I'm doing right now, but I try to only use that during work, and my personal Facebook account. When I log in, I don't see anything on my wall because I don't follow anybody, and that's the same in Instagram. I don't follow anybody. I just log in and it's empty because I don't want to be overstimulated, you know, from my personal work with social media as well. And yeah, my advice is, it just, you know, moderate yourself and the way you're using all of this, not only social media, technology as a whole. So you always find ways to minimize the usage of something that you think is bad for you. And yeah, that's it. I mean, we cannot escape it fully, only if we go to live, you know, in a remote island, you know, without technology, which is my dream. But you know, maybe someday, and maybe someday for you as well. But yeah, until then, we have to moderate the usage, and that's it.
Okay, thank you for the answer. So the answer is like, we have to be moderate on anything, not only on social media, but also technology.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Because something that is too much is not good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we move to another question. It's from Zikri. Yeah, Zikri asks you about, how can social media make our impact wasteful and biased?
Thank you, Zikli. So can you repeat the question again, because I didn't hear the last part.
Okay, how can social media make our impact on our daily life to be wasteful?
To be wasteful or to not be
Yes.
wasteful?
Maybe he asked about how can that social media can make the wasteful impact to our life, and maybe he asked about the solution as well. Can you explain?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the solution is to moderate the usage, and you know, I think maybe it was the same as the first question, or I don't fully
Okay.
understand it.
Yeah, okay. So what do you think about the social media sometimes waste our time in a day? It's
Yeah,
like
not
it's happened.
sometimes, not
Yes.
sometimes, a lot of the times, and that's why I
Okay, a
showed you
lot.
the statistics. It really does waste the time. It really does waste the time.
Okay, so I think that was the answer for Zikri, I think, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, okay, but the rest of the comment here, they just agreeing with you, and like no more question. But maybe is there any question from the audience from here? You can raise your hand. Okay, there is one more question. Okay, from who? From Atika. Yeah. Okay, so she's asked about how to give the response to the bad effect of social media, which change people perspective slowly, especially with children
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how you
Yeah,
responded
thank you,
to
Atika.
the children? Yeah.
Well, that is the thing, is that we have to be always aware of what's happening in our surroundings, in social media. This is like if we're living in a city and there are some outbreaks and then war happens, you know, this can happen. And you, if you're not aware of the process, you will be the last person realizing there's a war in your city and you got to get out of the city or of the country, because you live there. And you know, when we live in some place or where we feel safe in a place, as we feel safe in a social media, when we log in, when we feel safe, we're not aware because our instinct is not working, and also our thinking is not working. It's just because we feel safe. So that's why we have to be always aware of our surroundings and on social media, and always question why is something happening and is it good for us in the long term, not in the short term. And yeah, it's just a lot of thinking and analyzing, and which can be you know, if you don't want to overanalyze, overthink about anything in your life, if you know that social media is bad generally, as you agree, you just do not use it so much. But if you want to use it and just avoid the negatives, you have to very much analyze. But everything that comes that will come implemented as new features, as new things, will most definitely be bad for you. So even if you're analyzing it, you'll come to the same conclusion that it's not good. So yeah, the answer is to just not use it so much. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the response. So we have another question. Is it okay if we continue to these
Yeah, of
questions?
course. Yeah.
Okay, good. So from Miss Yasminar, how to make people understand that social media are useful for social too in communication and obtaining knowledge? Yeah, that's all. How to make people
Well,
understand that it's useful too.
well, it's very hard to make some people, you know, believe in something and open their eyes, because so many of them are just trapped in their daily routines. And you know, it's a very hard process. You just tell them, you know, a couple of times that maybe they should use it for learning and for something good and not for wasting time. But they have to realize it by themselves. They have to do this work by themselves. And yeah, you cannot save everybody. Like there are so many people, for example, using drugs, are bad people, or serial killers, whatever. I know they are bad people and we cannot change them. We can only save uh, the people that are good as of this moment, and protect them from, you know, getting drawn in this sea and becoming bad. So we can only save those that, you know, that still have some brain and some goodness in them. I mean, unfortunately, that's what I think, because I've seen a lot of bad people and try to explain them, you know, this is not good in your life, the way you're living is not good. But I've had zero success with this. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks. So shall we next to another question?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Okay, so this is an interesting question actually. Yeah, because it's talking about what will you do if your children are addicted to use gadget, especially mobile phone, to socialize in social media?
Well, they will not be addicted to using technology, because I will not provide them with this at the first place. You know, I've grown up with reading colorful books and drawing pictures and not using phones. And I have to say that my, you know, my childhood was very happy because of it. I have very strong memories. And I don't think this is bad. I managed to have very happy childhood. And you know, my mother said that I had very good memory, remembered, you know, a lot of songs, a lot of stories to tell, and books, recall books from memory. So yeah, this is good. So I will not be providing my children someday with technology, and even now forbid them from using technology, because the world is so interesting, so good out there. If you go outside of your home or of your workplace, you know, the world is such a beautiful and amazing place. And if you think that staring at 4-inch screen like this, or 5-inch or 7-inch, is better than anything that's outside, I mean, you're just not thinking clearly. So why should children be staring at 4-inch or 5-inch screens all their childhood? This is very bad for me. It's very bad advice.
Okay, that's clear enough explanation. Okay, so the next one is from Eric. He said, he asked about what are the mistakes that often occurs in social media marketing and how to overcome it.
In social media marketing, well,
Yeah.
the mistakes, the social media marketing, and also the concept of marketing is based on grabbing people's attention, and you can grab people's attention by um, highlighting something urgent, and you know, trying to make the primary in them see it, like, you know. So the mistake in social media is to just be boring in, you know, in social media marketing. Just if you write something boring or explain it, you know, your product or whatever in the normal way, you probably not have as much access. But if you write, for example, if you sell what should you sell? If you sell noodles and you just make a description of noodles, these are, you know, noodles with these ingredients and they are made there and there, you know, it's not interesting. But if you say urgent, these are the most amazing noodles, and you know, like the president ate them every day, you know, this is this is much more attention grabbing. So the mistakes of marketing is not grabbing the person's attention. Yeah, and not only for social media, for every type of marketing. So yeah, if you want to have success, be more controversial and come up with more clever and unorthodox ideas about this.
What do you mean by unorthodox idea?
Unorthodox idea is like the orthodox idea is the typical idea. Unorthodox is not the typical idea, it's the opposite.
Okay, that's clear enough for that. And then from Okmi, do you agree if technology like handphone, tablet, and etc. used by the student under 15 years old at the school? What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think it provides any benefit for their learning. I mean, I do not agree, but there are many schools that implement that in teaching. So, you know, it's just a test for the people and how stupid will become. And if you also research about statistics about the world intelligence, about the IQ points, and you'll see that they're declining every year. So we as people have, you know, are becoming more stupid, maybe because of these implementations, you know, of the schools. But this is all linked up, because you know, my profession as well is a teacher. So as a teacher, you know, I'm trying to speak, you know, to parents and tell them that the most important thing is to teach themselves, the child, about the good and the bad things, and do not expect the school to provide everything, because the schools are linked you know, to businesses, to government, and it's just politics and whatever some person decides on top, that's what gonna become the whole society. So, you know, if he chooses to do something bad for the people, he will just be part of it. So if you're a parent or a aware person, you always think about the best methods for your child, for yourself, and do not trust, you know, everybody else's methods. And yeah, I do not agree about 15 years olds, or, you know, less, even less um, aged students or children using tablets and phones. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. So it's not good.
Okay. Okay, so your opinion about that is that you are not agree with that, you are disagree with that, even though there are so many school just use technology for children under the 15 years old.
Yeah, and you know why? Because when I first took my studies for being a teacher, being an economics teacher, that was like 8 to 9 years ago, nobody used technology. And when I went to class, I showed them a tablet, and all the children were like, wow, you know, he uses a tablet. That is very cool. That is very interesting, because nobody uses a tablet. And when I last finished my English studies, you know, in order to also be a teacher of English language, I mean, last year, so everybody were bringing tablets to schools, and children are like, I know these are tablets, or they have a phone. This is nothing interesting. So this is not interesting for them. And when I brought up, you know, pieces of paper, and they were like, wow, but he uses a piece of paper, that is very interesting. So these are the things that you can also grab the attention by, you know, not being like all the others. And you know, people have become so used to technology that it doesn't help. You know, maybe it helped 10 years ago because it was something revolutionary, but nowadays it's just a normal thing. You know, nowadays you just eat with a spoon and fork your dinner, and you're fine with it. You don't feel amazed because you use these tools, but probably when they invited them, it was a big deal. So technology is the same thing.
Okay. Okay, thanks for that idea and opinion. So now move to another question from Vinky. So there is a lot of information in social media or internet that it's hard to know the right information. So how can we get the information that we need without get disturbed by the other fake information?
Well, only by using your analysis and your logic, because of course I've stumbled on the same problem many times. You know, there are a lot of fake news, fake researches, you know, fake articles, a lot of them. But then when I read something that, you know, I have feeling that I do not agree fully with it, or is, you know, it's not so convincing, I just think about it, like sit and think about it. Well, what is the logic behind it? You know, what will happen in 1 year if a person does do this, you know, or maybe 10 years. And also I said religion, you know, maybe it's, you know, so interesting for me to mention this, but it's true. You have to think that way, and always measure it by the values that you believe are good. So yeah, you measure all the information with your values and with the logic of the good things and of the religious things. And yeah, I mean, that's how you probably help yourself.
Yes, that's a good idea to connect it with the religion, Mr. Ivanov. Yeah, okay. So I think there is no other question. That's all question that you got.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the questions.
Okay. Oh, maybe there is one question,
Okay,
but
one last
maybe one last question. Yeah, but maybe it's according to the data. Yeah. So he's asked about, is there any data that shows divorce cases in each country because of social media?
Yes, there's a lot of data showing in different countries. You just have to, well, unfortunately, use Google for you to for you to see. But there's a lot of data, so much data that you wouldn't be able to read it all. But if you search about it, you'll find there are paid researchers, free researchers, government researchers on that, and it really, social media contributes to divorce rate and to people cheating, and it doesn't help the family. It doesn't help young families. It doesn't help old families. It doesn't help anybody. So yeah, just research it, and that's it. And you know, if you think about it, I'd like to mention something. I mean, if you decide to marry somebody, you know, you're marrying him or her, and you know, you're accepting him or her, and you know, you're now a couple. You're a whole. You know, your children will be a person based on you and this other person. You know, like, this is a huge thing. And if we share so much with somebody, isn't it surprising if we keep our profile, or he or her keep their profile on social media, like protected with password, or you know, like hidden, and you don't have access, you know? So what is the logic behind this? I mean, you want to have access to the soul of somebody, you know, and love him and give him everything and expect the same, and then you're hiding something from this person, or she or her is hiding something. So um you know, what is the logic behind? Is this good? Is this good? I think it's not. And social media is making us like egoistic people uh on our own, and not connected uh in this way. So yeah. Is this all? Am I done? Nothing. Nobody's speaking anymore. All right. Well, thank you for your attention, and goodbye.
Okay, so that's all for our seminar today from Mr. Toshko Ivo Ivanov. Thank you very much for having this seminar about the social media paradox and trap. So he is actually from social media person, but he brings us another perspective about social media, and also its bad impact toward our life, and how we should react and respond about the social media. Okay, thank you very much, everybody who is joining our seminar. So don't forget to fill the form of your certificate, because we already share it through the chat room. Yeah. So if you think that you haven't filled the form, please do it now, because maybe we cannot share later the link. Yeah, we only share it now in our Zoom meeting, and also in our YouTube live. Okay, we still give you a chance to fill the form. Yeah, just take a look at our chat room, please. If you have any question, please type it on our Zoom chat, or you can raise your hand so you can talk to us. Apa? Sudah 7 orang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Prita Adini, salah satu mahasiswa Prodi Bahasa Inggris dari Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan yang telah menempuh dan menyelesaikan studi saya dalam kurun waktu 3 tahun 6 bulan. Banyak kelebihan di dalam prodi kita. Untuk mengetahuinya, yuk kita tanya ke teman-teman kita yang udah kuliah di prodi kita.
Ya, saya rekomendasikan untuk kuliah di sini karena banyak keunggulannya ya, kayak fasilitasnya nyaman, rasanya ramah, terus juga banyaklah kegiatan yang asik.
Banyak organisasi-organisasi dan juga ada kesempatan buat kuliah di luar negeri.
Kamu, ya aku udah nggak ada menunya. Udah selesai juga Pak. Iya.
Ini keluarnya berarti nggak ke ini dong. Nggak masuk.
Enggak kan kamu yang jadi host kalau. Jadi kamu yang stop di YouTube.
Oh iya.
Kan di menunya dia aku udah nggak ada lagi.
Tapi tadi ada itu.
Apa?
Tadi ada itu kan?
Ada.
Matiin dulu webcamnya kan?